So, myself, I joined the Marine Corps in 1993. I was an infantry Marine. And then 1995, I took and passed the first Force Reconnaissance NDOC, and I became a Force Reconnaissance Marine. From basically 1995 until 2014, when I retired from the Marine Corps, I did all things reconnaissance. In 2008, a part of 3rd Recon Battalion in Okinawa, Japan, I did a combat deployment as a platoon sergeant. And in 2009, I was awarded our nation's 3rd highest award, the Silver Star for Extraordinary Heroism. And later on that year, I was also awarded with the diagnosis of severe post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury. I'm one of those guys, I'm a self-fixer, all right? Don't give me meds. Tell me what's wrong with me so I can work it out and fix it. And going through that entire process, at one point, obviously, I'm a Marine. I'm self-medicating with alcohol.
Hell yeah. Every
Says the Army guy. I'm self-medicating with alcohol, and I'm in the concussion clinic program. I'm going through all these different types of therapies, and my therapist actually used my family as a way to get me to try meds. And so I relented because I was a pain in the ass to my family. And but the problem was I hadn't stopped drinking. So now I'm mixing alcohol with antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, so on and so forth. Specifically, one night in 2011, one of my other symptoms was I was probably averaging about 3 hours of sleep a night, fragmented throughout the night, so I could sleep for an hour straight, and then I could be up for 4 hours straight, 20 minutes of sleep, for an hour I'll be awake, so on and so forth, for a grand total of 3 hours. And one night I woke up, and I'm staring into the blackness, and I'm done. I'm over. I'm tired of it. I'm such a burden on my family, and I made that decision right then and there to end my life. Now, in the recon community, when you're in a crisis site, you're in combat, you're in a crisis site, and you're on a thing called a danger area. Danger area is when something bad can come from that area. It's unknown. You can't see around it. You can't see through it. You can't see over or under it. That's a danger area. You never take a danger area by yourself. You always do it with at least 2 people, 3 preferably. So as a recon Marine, if you're standing on a danger area, you never take your heads and eyes off that danger area. All you simply do is say, support. And everybody, all your fellow recondos, your fellow Marines, if they hear somebody call support and they're not doing anything at that specific moment, their whole process at that exact moment is to stop what they're doing and render support to the person that needs it. And when that second person comes walking up and they've assessed the situation, they see what's going on, all right, we're getting ready to make entry into this house or into this room or whatever to take this danger area, then the command from that person is with you. That's telling me, as a person that called for support, that I have someone right behind me and they're getting ready to enter into whatever we're getting ready to walk into. They're there. They're with me. At some point when I was lying there and I'm staring into that blackness, and it was the most unselfish moment in my life that I wanted to end it, to basically free my family of this burden that I was causing them. At some point I said, support. And then my wife, who did 22 years in the Marine Corps, reached out and said, with you. So we took that negative and turned it into a positive, and we started Warfighter Maine. I was blessed. I have a 1969 Camaro that my mother received as a high school graduation present in 1971. She parked it in 1996. No, I'm sorry. She parked it in 1989. She died of a drug overdose in 1996. I picked the car up in 2000, and the car was supposed to be revealed back to me after I returned back from Iraq for OIF 1. That didn't happen. Things happen, things get in the way. Wait till you hear the story about the Camaro that we're getting ready to reveal today. And after my little incident, my wife reached out to Butch Lynch, who had my Camaro at that time, and said, hey, Rob needs more than what he's doing. Can he come down and work on his car with you? And Butch said, absolutely, send him on down. So as Butch was giving me simple little tasks to perform on my car, I'm mechanically inclined, but Danny would be the first one to tell you I break more stuff than I actually fix. As I was working on my car, I realized that the focus that it took for me not to mess up my own car and not to get Butch to come over and yell at me like, what are you doing, dummy? All that focus was relieving me of my triggers and my symptoms. And then at one point, all of a sudden I was like, man, I can't wait to drive this car. And then I had to pause for a second. I was like, oh my God, did I just actually look forward to the future? When you're going through post-traumatic stress, you really can't even see your hand in front of your face. You're just so locked up in your mind that getting the opportunity to think about the future was something new. So I started a relationship with Uncle Bitchin'. And as that was going on, we decided that, hey, we need to bring this to more people. And then we linked up with a combat wounded, triple amputee, explosive ordnance disposal Marine, basically bomb squad for non-military people, Brian Meyer. And Brian Meyer was a triple amputee, EOD. Obviously, not a very good EOD tech. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's brutal around here. It's brutal. It's brutal around here. And Warfighter Made was created. Warfighter Made's mission. Warfighter Made is an all-volunteer. Danny and I are full-time volunteers for Warfighter Made. We have our Vice President, Dom, waving his hand over there, who has a kick-ass band called the Resilience Band. Look him up on social media. Hell of a drummer. Daniel Armendares.
Nope. You broke that too.
Got unplugged.
That's what happens if you say my name too much.
Yeah, it's brutal, bro.
Don't do it 3 times. It gets really bad.
So